Welcome to Apocrypha PH. I'm your host, Techie. In this episode, we're tackling one of the most enduring and misunderstood topics in conspiracy history, the Illuminati. You've heard the name 1,000 times. It's been blamed for revolutions, assassinations, and the secret control of the entire world. Pop culture has turned it into a punchline, a marketing tool, and a catch-all explanation for anything we don't understand. But here's the thing, the Illuminati was real. It just wasn't what you think. In this episode, we'll trace the Illuminati from its actual origins in 18th century Bavaria to its modern mythology, and we'll explore its surprising connection to the 2026 Epstein files. Let's begin. May 1st, 1776. A professor of canon law at the University of Ingolstadt in Bavaria gathered 5 of his students. They formed a secret society. Its name, the Order of the Illuminati. Within a decade, it would be banned and crushed by the government. Within 2 centuries, it would be blamed for the French Revolution, the Russian Revolution, the assassination of JFK, and the secret control of the entire world. And in 2026, its name would appear in the Jeffrey Epstein files. The Illuminati is the most famous secret society in history, even though the original organization lasted only about 10 years. So where did the myth come from? What did the real Illuminati actually believe? And what do the Epstein files really tell us about elite power? The real story begins with Adam Weishaupt. Weishaupt was a professor who had been educated by Jesuits, an order known for discipline and secrecy. But Weishaupt rejected religious authority. He was drawn to Enlightenment ideals, reason, liberty, freedom from oppression. In 1776, he founded the Order of the Illuminati. Members initially called themselves perfectibilists, a name reflecting their goal of self-improvement and social reform. The organization grew slowly at first, then rapidly. Weishaupt modeled it partly on the Jesuits and partly on Freemasonry. There were ranks and initiation degrees. Members took classical code names. Weishaupt was Spartacus. His top lieutenant, Baron von Knicke, was Philo. Cities were given ancient names. Correspondence was encrypted. At its peak, the Illuminati had perhaps 2,000 members spread across Europe, from Italy to Denmark, from Warsaw to Paris. It attracted some of the greatest minds of the age, the writer Goethe, the philosopher Herder, the dukes of Gotha and Weimar. But here's what the Illuminati were not. They were not a shadowy cabal controlling world events. They were Enlightenment intellectuals meeting in secret, a risky activity in an era when absolute monarchy and state religion brooked no opposition. In 1784, the Bavarian government, alarmed by all secret societies, began issuing edicts banning them. By 1787, the Illuminati were effectively finished. Weishaupt lost his professorship and was banished from Bavaria. Members were imprisoned or driven into exile. The historical Illuminati lasted barely a decade. So how did this short-lived group become the center of world conspiracy theories? The answer lies in 2 books published in 1797 and 1798, just years after the French Revolution had terrified Europe's monarchies. John Robison, a Scottish physicist, published Proofs of a Conspiracy Against All Religions and Governments of Europe, and Abbé Augustin Barruel, a French Jesuit priest, published Memoirs Illustrating the History of Jacobinism. These books were international bestsellers. They were translated, reprinted, and summarized. They sparked panic, including the New England Illuminati scare in the United States, where preachers warned that the secret society was infiltrating America.
Never mind that the Illuminati was defunct for a decade. Never mind that there was no evidence connecting them to the revolution. The idea was too powerful to die. The conspiracy had taken on a life of its own. Over the next century, the Illuminati myth merged with other conspiracy theories. In the 1910s and 1920s, the British writer Nesta Webster fused it with the protocols of the Elders of Zion, a fabricated anti-Semitic text, creating the modern image of a Jewish-led cabal seeking world domination. By the late 20th century, the Illuminati had become a catch-all explanation for everything. They were blamed for the Russian Revolution, the Kennedy assassination, the creation of the European Union, and the rise of globalism. Celebrities from Madonna to Beyoncé were accused of being members. The pyramid and the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill were cited as proof. The myth had completely overshadowed the history. Which brings us to 2026. In February, the U.S. Department of Justice released what it called the final major release of the Epstein files, 3 million pages of documents, emails, flight logs, and photographs. And among the revelations was a curious detail. In a 1990s-era interview with Steve Bannon, Epstein explicitly compared the Trilateral Commission to an Illuminati-like world-governing secret organization. The Trilateral Commission was founded in 1973 by David Rockefeller to promote cooperation between North America, Europe, and Japan. It's a policy discussion group, hardly a shadowy cabal. But Epstein was actually a member in the 1990s. He was close to Rockefeller, and he clearly saw the group in conspiratorial terms. For conspiracy theorists, this was validation. See, even Epstein knew the Illuminati was real. But here's what the files actually show. The documents are filled with names from the global elite, billionaires, politicians, academics, royalty. The Rothschilds appear, Rockefellers appear, Soros appear. But as The Guardian noted in its analysis, these appearances are banal. They confirm that powerful people know each other, not that they're running a shadow government. Matthew Dallek, a political historian at George Washington University, put it this way: the files confirm that elites get special treatment, that they're shielded from the rules that are supposed to apply to everyone equally, and that there is a kind of corruption in the broadest sense of the word. That's not the Illuminati, that's class solidarity. The Guardian's conclusion is worth quoting at length. The vast international conspiracy does sort of exist, it turns out, but far more prosaically than conspiracy theorists have fantasized. To read the files is to realize that class solidarity is real, just not within the class where Marxists might hope to find it. Epstein was a member of an elite network. He used it for his crimes. His powerful friends protected him and each other. But there was no initiation ritual, no occult ceremony, no plan for world domination. Just money, connections, and the unspoken agreement that the rules don't apply to people like them. So where does this leave us? Let's be clear about what's real and what's myth. The historical reality. A Bavarian professor named Adam Weishaupt founded the Order of the Illuminati in 1776. It was an Enlightenment secret society with about 2,000 members that was banned and dissolved by 1787. That's it. That's the historical record. The conspiracy myth. An all-powerful shadowy cabal that survived its suppression and now secretly controls world governments, banks, and media from behind the scenes. There's zero credible evidence for this. The Epstein files reality. Elite networks exist. Powerful people know each other, protect each other, and operate by different rules. Epstein was a master manipulator who thrived in this world. But the files show glad-handing and back-scratching, not occult rituals or world domination plots. The conspiracy interpretation. The files prove the Illuminati is real because they mention names like Rockefeller and show elites behaving badly. There's a pattern here. A real historical kernel, the Bavarian Illuminati, gets blown up into a world-controlling myth. A traumatic event, the French Revolution, gets blamed on secret plotters, and modern evidence, the Epstein files, gets reinterpreted to fit the pre-existing narrative, even when the actual content doesn't support it. As Joseph Usinski, a political scientist who studies conspiracy theories, has noted, this is how conspiratorial thinking works. Once you believe in a hidden hand, every piece of evidence can be made to fit.
The Illuminati isn't a shadowy cabal controlling the world, but elite networks are real, and understanding how they work is more important than ever. If this video sparked something in you, a question, a curiosity, a desire to dig deeper, then you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us as we continue to pull back the veil. The truth is not hidden. You just weren't taught how to see it. That's all for this episode of Apocrypha PH. I'm Techie. See you in the next one.